Good morning. Please join Dalton on our opening song. Dalton?
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? It's a gorgeous day outside, isn't it? I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, a bright blessed day and the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? Oh, they're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Thank you, Dalton. So I'd like to invite the children up and please join in singing them out to their classroom. Come on up. Yeah, you know, while we're doing that, Bonnie's going to make a quick announcement before the song. So we'll just do that real quick.
Good morning. My name is Bonnie, and I am the Children's Church Director. And next week we're having a special celebration. Kelly Rizzi and the whole Rizzi clan apparently are going to, they are planning right now an Easter celebration for the kids. So just wanted to make sure that the parents were aware of that. We have a sign-up sheet. I have no idea what they're doing, but they need to know how many kids are going to be there, just to make sure they have enough of everything. So the sign-up sheet is in the back at the board desk with Rick. You'll see it. It's a page that has some decorative Easter eggs on it. So sign the child's first and last name and contact for the parent. And that's especially important if you have guests coming from out of town and they have children that would like to attend. So thank you.
There was a day when my knees would do that. but anyway, very sweet. And so I do want to acknowledge Bonnie again because she's putting a lot of work into the children's program, and she sends out emails to the parents. And so if you feel it's time to start bringing your children in, and this is for you online as well, come on in. We're ready. So we have a wonderful program. So if there's anybody new today, if you'd like to raise your hand, we have a welcome packet. Hi, welcome. And Doug will bring you a packet. And then if you'd like to have a tour of the grounds or talk to anybody, afterwards, just let us know and we'd be glad to do that. So I also like to thank Lindy for being here on the soundboard. And we have Rich on the board desk and Doug and Ronnie as ushers. And so we appreciate everyone being here early. And then we have Lori in the office, so if you have an office question, she's available. Also, just a reminder, you did get a program, and it has all the details of all the announcements, as well as on our website, as well as in our awareness. And just another reminder, if you want to be on the weekly email update from Reverend Sue, we announce all the things that are happening for the week. So we do have a few announcements, and we already heard from Bonnie. That was on my list. So we're going to have a book signing today by Dr. Mary, and she's going to share a little bit more about that pretty soon, about the book signing. But it's a very special event, and we really want to honor you, Mary, but I'm going to let you share it, because it's pretty cool. But the book signing will be today after the service. So we do have the men's group tomorrow night with Roy Wolstad, and Sacred Sisters with Reverend Sue tomorrow night here. And then we have the Caregivers Support Group with Dr. Mary's second Thursday starting April 14th, 10 a.m. to noon. And then we have our Easter celebration coming up next week. It's a service dedicated to love, and it starts at 10 a.m. So we have a service filled with amazing music. I know our choir director has put a lot of effort into it, and we have some special guests, and we have the choir as well. So be sure and come next week, and there'll be a special giving and receiving part of the service. And then we have grant applications. Every year, we have from our endowment fund, we take the earnings from that fund, not the principal, but the earnings, the interest and dividends. We make that available for grants. And so you can fill out a grant application. If you see anything around this center that you feel like could, use some help, and improvement, just pick one up and you can talk to anyone. You can talk to Rich at the board desk or Sue or myself, and we can talk to you more about the application. But we do have an exciting amount of money that's available for grants this year. And those are due by May 1st. So the other thing you'll notice in the foyer, we have sign-ups for our Rummage and Collection sale. And that's going to be on May 5th, 6th, and May 6th and 7th is the sale. But the week prior to that is when we start collecting everything. Like after the Sunday service, we can start bringing things in. And we clear out the sanctuary, we clear out the social hall, and we set it up for, it used to be our annual sale. We didn't do it last year because of COVID, but this year it's on. So we have a lot of stuff in storage that people brought last year, and we have new things coming in. But it does take a community effort, to actually make the sale happen. So the sign-up sheets are for those who want to help price things, want to help do the setup, maybe be here on the days of the sale and be able to, make the transaction happen. Or just be around and just to help out. But it's really a fun event. We all kind of whine about it sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's really fun. People are laughing, having a great time. It's a great community building. Please join with me as in this moment, I feel a deep sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the beauty that I witness outside, the beauty of the spring, the beauty and the love that I feel in this room, for the community that shows up and supports this center. And gratitude for all that have come before into this center and all those that will be coming in the future. We do have a deep legacy right here. And I feel it and I know it. So with this gratitude, I recognize and know that there's just one spirit, one love, one God that's everywhere present, showing up in the most beautiful and magnificent ways, individualized in each and every one of us as our own beautiful, unique expression of the one. And so today I take heart and I allow this recognition to go deeper into my soul, where it touches that urge and that nudge to want to grow and be more and to be my fullest expression of the one, of love. So I do this as well in the name of peace and unity. For I know that as I pray, my prayer goes out to the world and helps unify and bring peace. So I give thanks for today's service, for Reverend Sue and for her inspired message, and for Dr. Mary for her hard work and her dedication to the book that you're going to hear about. Very, very powerful. So together, Dr. Mary and Reverend Sue will bring together a beautiful service for the ears to hear and the eyes to see, and for those to take heart and leave here feeling inspired and open and happy So we dance together in today's service, and we grow and we expand. So giving thanks, I release these words and this prayer into law, knowing full well it is so. And together we say, and so it is. Dr. Mary.
I'm so nervous. I'll tell you, I signed 2 books already this morning and I couldn't recognize my handwriting. Oh my gosh, why am I so nervous? It's been a 13-year journey to have this book be published, My Search for Ancient Wisdom, A Prisoner's Journey of Transformation. A prisoner who found my name in a magazine and read the article and thought, he wrote me and he said, you know, I don't know about this science of mind thing. I've studied all the world's religions, but I think there's something here that will help me adjust to life without parole. You know, I didn't know that I'd expect really have a prison ministry. I guess that it surprised me. He entered prison at age 19. He wrote to me when he was 37. And this January, he turned 50. He's been in a long time. You know, he was raised by his mother in Missouri, wonderful woman. She raised him herself. And every day, all summer long, she would drop him off at the library and pick him up at the end of the day. You know, he loved the library. He could make any story he wanted. He just loved it because he thought the whole world's knowledge was in that library, and he wanted it. So he became very intelligent about books and what is offered very early in his life. But then his uncles came back from Vietnam. One immediately bought guns, got drunk, became a gangster. The other one found his love, got married, had a job, and Michael thought, man, how boring is that for a teenager? So his uncle bought him a gun, and he turned into the gangster lifestyle, and it wasn't very long because at age 19, he was in prison for life without parole. You know, the first letter I received, I was so impressed with his intelligence. So I saved every one of his letters, not realizing 13 years later, they'd be all in a book along with my letters. And so if you know a teenager who's kind of going off track, or maybe a young adult, this is the real thing in prison. He doesn't cut it. He really tells it like it is. And it might just be something that might make people think, who think, I don't know, any kind of criminal activity or anything like that is really cool, because it really isn't. And he calls this world of prison the 9th dimension. And once he learned to apply this teaching, science of mind teaching, he evolved from what was a deadly gangster to what I'm calling now a prison Buddha. The story is awesome. So I'm going to stop talking right now, and I'm only going to share Michael's words with you. And yesterday I had an epiphany. I thought, this story is so cool. Oh my God, there's 10 steps to how he did this. So I'm going to read them in steps. And then there's copies of this in the back if the people who are going to be reading this in the book club want to enjoy that, or if you do, or you want to see how do you evolve from a gangster to a Buddha. Here's step 1, realization, and these are his words. Coming into prison, I created a persona that enabled me to navigate this labyrinth of madness. At any moment, I was ready to do whatever was necessary to protect myself. Thus, I got the name Trigger Mike. Entering this realm, this terrestrial hell, this land of madness, I realized that it was essential that I adopt and sharpen my listening skills to learn the ways of this prison to ensure my survival. Then he had his first spiritual experience, which is a great read. Being shown an omen was the beginning of my awakening, and I have been driven to elevate myself beyond the mundane of this world and pursue the teachings that will allow me to evolve. In prison, every year, every month, every week, every day is a facsimile of last year, last month, last days. I'm alive, and yet I'm prohibited from the participation in life. Step 2, recognition. When man is confronted with his destiny, he must choose the decision of meeting it with courage, honor, and pride, or succumb to the demons, stripped of morality, principles, and dignity, to become molded into the form of the typical prison inhabitant. For humans encased in concrete cannot truly grow. Their growth is not authentic. At best, it is arrested. True growth implies an influx of consistent, nutritious stimuli. And without these, the being regresses into itself and hence becomes the living dead. The prisoner oscillates between two non-realities, namely the past and the future. The present is where the being does not want to be, for the present is full of anxiety and frustration. The prisoner is commanded to give that which he does not possess, the future, as the future is a non-reality. This is the ultimate crime perpetrated against this being. His future has been taken before he has even touched it. But it wasn't until I let go of what I thought I was and embraced what I now know that things began to change. Step 3, opening up. For many years, prisoners and guards saw me as this unemotional convict with no heart, no love, a bringer of trepidation. Yet in this world, this mindset ranks supreme. But in the course of my gaining mastery over it, I was on the verge of losing my true self. Since my encounters with the anomalies of this world, I've been searching for the keys that open the portals to truth, but in error, I was searching outside myself for answers that were already within. Doesn't that ring a bell? This morning, I awoke with an incessant thought that I have to rediscover my humanity. Step 4, searching for truth is a worthy goal. The greatest and most formidable mind that will ever exist is universal mind. Without universal mind, we would not be aware of ourselves, our design, and our purpose. I cannot be a conscious moral person if I ignored this truth. If there is no challenge in life, there's no opportunity for spiritual growth and evolution. There's something greater than me at work, and it takes incredible faith to see the spiritual perspective of this challenge. Now I have changed my thinking. Liberation from negative thinking is now my mantra, for I know that a new pattern will emerge, for when the truth is known, it's demonstrated. Step 5, beginning to understand. By any logical and apparent reasons, I should be anything but what I am today. But sometimes spirit is stronger than circumstances. In seeking wisdom, I'm realizing the seriousness of my situation and work to apply myself with vigilance to ensure my success in any situation, for I know that in all things, God does exist. I know that it takes faith, strength, and accumulated wisdom to go against my previously deep warrior ethics. My life was once a question mark, and my purpose a mystery. But within this realm, I've experienced several key moments that have helped shape my life. Those were evolutionary moments which bring the purpose of one's life into sharp focus, and now I use them to plot my course. Step 6, can't ignore it. I cannot pretend to be ignorant to the realities of my world. They cannot be dismissed as psychological rhetoric. I've endured much, and the endurance and the patience I've displayed has given me a different perception of many things. These are the times when I'm able to see the bigger picture, that God is in everything and everyone, and something bigger is trying to birth itself through us and through me. Step 7, life is my choice. Now I recognize the valuable abilities that can be obtained through a working knowledge of cause and effect, which can rectify one's thinking. The teaching and the information I have found in understanding metaphysics has been a momentous achievement in my studies. I've exceeded my own level quicker than expected, and it's given me the instrument to access the knowledge that I acquired only in the form of axioms, but did not know the methods or how to channel its dynamics. The effects in one life can be changed, for man achieves a great leap in understanding when he recognizes that everything within his personal life and environment is a mirrored reflection of his beliefs. The adherents of metaphysics are not guided by a specific doctrine or dogma, but by scientific understanding of the human mind and man's relationship to God. This, to me, is what makes this philosophy, science of mind, a true science. Step 8, using it. Today, with practice, taking offense doesn't register like it once did. When one has the consciousness of power, one can overcome obstacles by having more courage than fear. Last week, as I exited the cafeteria, a guard known to be very antagonistic stopped me and demanded I give him my shoelaces because they were blue. In the past, I would have caused him bodily harm. But today I took a deep breath, I reached down, took my shoelaces out, and handed them to him. Now, everyone in the cafeteria was watching, as well as guards who came out of their office, because they knew there was going to be a fight. And they told me later, "You got punked." That's okay. But a new description has been added to my reputation. Now I'm unpredictable. I love that part. I can just see that, you know. Step 9, being awake. Prison forced me to wake up and regain my consciousness. My survival depended on it. Otherwise, I would have perished. I had come to terms with who I am, and I had to realize my weaknesses and understand my strengths. One should commit himself to a cause that in time, scope, and value transcends one's thinking and purpose. My growth has become a process of becoming more than a thing, more than a stereotype, more than an exhibit, giving me a determined pursuit of knowledge and a better way of living. For truth in itself is always the same. It's unalterable and unchanging. Yet while I could see it changing, the reality was that I was changing because my perception of truth was changing. I have expunged a wrong mental equivalent and replaced it with its opposite, for the right thought automatically deletes the wrong thought. Step 10, a new mission. Each one, teach one. This is my mission statement. To destroy the ill perceptions that many have in this world, we must rely on a truth which cannot be destroyed, which is the love of God. Today, I'm more controlled. I had to change. I had to learn my true history and search for hidden truths in the many different religions of the world. The power of a committed mind exceeds any other force that I've come across in this land. Each one, teach one. This is how we get to survive in these isolated death camps. We reach out to one another. We lift each other up. Prison has given me the opportunity to learn who I truly am, my true purpose and my true history, which has reshaped my outlook and given me a better direction in which to proceed. Whatever happiness and good fortune we experience in our life stems from our own positive actions and thoughts. I believe that God is creating something in me, and it is enormous. That's a 13-year history for Michael. Don't let that discourage you. Work through those challenges with the principles of science of mind. He believes it saved his life. It's true for all of us that God is creating something in us, through us. And if Michael's right, it's enormous. So listen and pay attention and know that you too are blessed with the love of God. I want to share that I have another prisoner, Charles, who does the most amazing artwork in the bookstore. And we were designing this book. I said, what do you think about the cover? And Michael wrote back, he said, well, there's a lot of cliffs and really bad things. I've been walking all my life, and yet I studied my African history, and it's changed everything. And so I've walked through this portal in my African spirituality, my African knowledge. And so he picked this symbol. It's an African symbol at the top. There's all these cliffs, horrible cliffs. And he said, there were some flowers along the way, so we put little flowers on the side. And he's walking this path under this arch, and here's this signal, and it means wholeness, oneness. And Charles, cute as he is, added 2 elephants, one on each side. So in this book are 23 of Charles' drawings that go with the chapters. So they can't communicate to each other because it's illegal, so they communicate through me, and it's just been a delightful journey. I thank you for listening, and if you want the book, it's there. If you want the talk, it's there, and thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mary. So now I'm just going to talk for another hour. Just kidding. But the themes that we're following all year is about everything is just awe and wonder. And this month is dedicated to the theme of creativity. And so there was this humorous moment that I saw this little joke. So I'm going to share it with you. Are you guys ready? On the edge of your seat. She's going to do a joke. Get ready. Get ready. So because it is Palm Sunday, today's Palm Sunday, but because of a sore throat, little 8-year-old Billy stayed home from church. When the family returned home, they were carrying several palm fronds. Johnny asked them, what are those for? His father says, people lined the streets with them to herald Jesus' return. And they held them over his head as he walked by. Geez, Johnny fumed. The one Sunday I don't go and he shows up. I know, and that's so sweet, so true. Now, here's another awkward thing. The Centers for Spiritual Living send out a global idea for all of us in the movement to follow this thread in all of our talks with one another. And so all the centers kind of pick up the theme and do their translation of it. So the title actually today was Dance with the Donkey. Right? Dance with the donkey. And I said, I can't do that. That's just weird. I couldn't figure out, everybody has their idea of what is a donkey or what is the other name for donkey and how weird is this. So I left that part out, but you can keep putting the donkey in there in the story if you want. But then again, the donkey is an important part of Palm Sunday, right? And so there's Jesus deciding to go on his journey. He knew he was doing his soul's work. He knew what was going to happen to him as he entered the city, but he chose to ride on the donkey. And so we're going to talk about a little bit of that. But I want to tie this all together and remind us of that creative impulse that we all have, the urge always to dance a new step, to find a new way when we are finding ourselves kind of wallowing or struggling. And I have to really appreciate the drumming on Friday night. I was sitting with Hazel, and she was sharing how her day had went. And we were all relating, like, yeah, I feel that way too. You know, some days are just like that. But the music, the drumming, it was like transformed us. And it's like, what were we saying at the beginning? We were really complaining about something. It seemed really like serious. It was gone. It was gone. That way to just move with the music was allowing us to realign with our divine nature. Now there's Matthew Fox writes, there are lessons that abound from the native peoples, the power of dancing together with the beating of the drum, providing that common heartbeat. That heartbeat reminds us of the heartbeat of the cosmic Christ, which fills the universe with overflowing love, binding all things together on earth and in heaven. So we're reminded that these spiritual wisdoms, these truths, are never restricted to time and place. And we receive these teachings, we receive the information. Doesn't matter how long it takes. We allow our level of awareness to continue to evolve and unfold. So in the Christian tradition, this is considered the Holy Week. And the Palm Sunday, again, representing that journey, the steps that you take into the unknown, out of our comfort zone, and the sacredness of recognizing that all of this is representing the transformational moment in your experience. It's in all spiritual paths and traditions. And so you can apply the stories in a metaphysical way of these stories that we've heard over and over, apply it to your own life and to the infinite knowing of this creative process, always, always guiding us and informing us. So we know from Earnest Holmes, Jesus spoke of the joy which he had and which he desired us to have, that our joy might be full. There is music, Ernest says, at the center of everything. The melody is real. We must uncover the song and permit it to saturate our souls with joy. That reminded me, Hazel, that's when I really thought about the music doing this. The ancients said the wind whispers, the leaves clap their hands, and the morning stars sing together. Spiritual living is not a droll affair. It is the triumphant entry of the soul into the secret place of the Most High, where the scroll of life is inscribed with the joyous words, I am the Lord thy God in the midst of thee. So there he is, knowing this truth as we return to the idea of Jesus on Palm Sunday, riding in, knowing that no matter what doubts or fears he might have had in that experience, he was allowing himself to be fearless in those days and claiming his good, claiming his destination, knowing that there was a power in the universe that was greater than all of the ideas that were populating the time period. And so he rode on. And so we recognize within us too, even in the trials and tribulations of times, that our authentic nature is longing to cause us to dance to our own beat, find our own beat. When we try to force our dance to suit someone's interpretation of us, we're just being phony. It becomes just a performance at best, and it's going to lack the heart of our true nature. Now, many times, like the 360 band, I mean, they just get you where you want to go. Oh yeah, I know this one. Oh yeah, I'm back in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 6th grade. You know, you're just loving the music. But we all sit here going, I like this one. I like it. And I'm going to smile and I'm going to hold very still. When you really want to just get out and boogie it around. Now, I was, Linda, you were trying to show me what the dance step, the floss was. I don't know. When I do it, it just looks really like dirty. But never mind. So I'll go way back to the twist. But remember when we did the twist and it was like, I got this, I could dance anywhere. Anybody want to dance with me? Because I know the twist. And then we'd add this little. Remember that? Oh, we were so dang cool. So dang cool. But then there was this. Let's go dance. Okay, I got it. I'm moving in my 4-inch space. I've got it. Here's my dance, my authentic self. I've got it. I'm going to add one of these. I'm going to add one. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Oh, that was a little bit too much, right? So there's this part of us that just wants to dance and to wave our arms, and I'm always in awe of the grace-filled people in my experience that dance with no abandon, that just get out there and they let their bodies move. Sylvia's one of those. I want somebody to have a dance partner. So you look at yourself, though. That's putting limitation on yourself. We want to dance. We want to feel free. We want to let ourselves go. And there's this part of us that gets ego-driven, that gets self-conscious. I don't want to look stupid. And then we realize we close down. A shell hardens around us. But the soul in you has access to all of those divine qualities of love, compassion, joy, beauty, peace. It's in that space we dance. It's in that space that we create our lives together. So we take our dance into the outer world, and we allow ourselves just to be free, and knowing that if I'm just dancing to satisfy the world around me, to the dance that they're wanting me to do, you're never going to be satisfied. That's where the ego part of the battle starts to influence you. And so you realize it's exhausting to try to please everybody. Humanity at large is a tough crowd, right? It's a tough crowd to please. But the holy place inside of you, there is a source that knows this meaningful life, and it's longing to crack open so that you can reconnect with that divine essence. Ernest Holmes, we believe in our own soul, our own spirit, our own destiny. We understand that all of life, of each of us, is God. So the leg of the journey, where are you on your path of transformation? What one word would describe that for you? And allow that to be the sole word that you allow yourself to then build your prayers and your treatments and your acceptance and your transformation from that one word on the roads that you travel. Now, going back to the idea of sometimes we're on a donkey when we're trying to ride into something. Sometimes that donkey metaphysically represents a stubbornness, right? Can we feel stubborn sometimes? It can be the untrainable part of us. We know the truth, but it's so much fun to gossip, right? Well, it's not really fun. I shouldn't even say that online. So I'll take that part. So gossip's not a good word. But there's other things that we feel that we get undisciplined by. We know that we shouldn't partake of something, but we do it anyway. So those are some of the symbols that the donkey can represent as we ride upon our life's journey, using this as our transportation, but also know that the donkey is very persistent, and he also allows us to endure and travel those rocky and broken roads. So you realize here, the donkey can be like the shadow. It can be your greatest, wisest spiritual teacher. It can be the shaman, the guru that you've been looking for. Turn to the shadow and say, I get it now. And the shadow blends into your light of awakening. So we're watching ourselves surrender to some of the stumbling blocks and recognizing what is really inviting me. What is calling to me right now? And I don't want to whine about it anymore. I want to be invited into that next dance step and know that I will not be exhausted. Now, last week, if any of you watched the opening monologue for Saturday Night Live, there was a Jared Carmichael, a black comedian that I thought was just hilarious. But he says in his opening line, "I'm not going to talk about it. No, you can't get me to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it." Huh? I'm not going to talk about it. His whole spiel, his whole opening monologue played off that. And as I was sharing with a friend I haven't seen in a couple years, a year, I was starting to say, well, what's new? And I started to go into one of my stories. I said, no, I'm not going to talk about it. No, you can't get me. I'm not going to talk. Well, what? I thought, why would I infect her with that kind of a story when what I want is the other side of the story, what I learned. So I don't want to talk about the story. I want to talk about who I am, who I've become, what I long for, what my intentions are. And it was a new dance happening inside of me. Again, allowing the coach of the shadow who's right there saying, no, go ahead, she'd like the story, it's kind of juicy. No, I'm not going to talk about it. So think about that this week. Oh, sometimes those moments are just so ripe. I want to talk about it. I just want to talk about this. But let's move beyond that and just I'm going to close it with something very profound. There's a lot more to say to this, but the invitation is just to dance, just to find a beat that you can dance with. Even if you're feeling a little grumbly in the morning, turn up the music and let yourself, with full release, just dance to it, and you'll find that your intentions for your day are set in a more beautiful way. So from remember Oriah Mountain Dreamer? Years ago, she wrote the most incredible books. And she wrote a long poem about dance, but I want to preface it. If I want to live my ability to be fully present and compassionate, my ability to be with all, with the joy and the sorrow, I must find the ways, the people, the places, the practices that support me in being all I truly am. I must cultivate ways of being that let me feel the warmth of encouragement against my heart when it is weary. We're in humanity. Life can get weary, but we're also spiritual beings, and we live in a power within us that is greater than any story that we're not going to talk about. So the dance, she'll tickle the keys behind this, but remember these words. I have sent you my invitation, the note inscribed on the palm of my hand by the fire of living. Don't jump up and shout, yes, this is what I want, let's do it. Just stand up, quietly, dance with me. Show me how you follow your deepest desires, spiraling down into the ache within the ache, and I will show you how I reach inward and open outward to feel the kiss of the mystery, sweet lips of my own every day. Don't tell me you want to hold the whole world in your heart. Show me how you turn away from making another wrong without abandoning yourself when you are hurt and afraid of being unloved. Tell me a story of who you are and see who I am in the stories I am living. And together we will remember that each of us always has a choice. Don't tell me how wonderful things will be someday. Show me you can risk being completely at peace, truly okay with the things the way things are right now in this moment, and again in the next, and the next, and the next. I have heard enough warrior stories of heroic daring. Tell me how you crumble when you hit the wall, the place you cannot go beyond the strength of your own will. What carries you to the other side of that wall, to the fragile beauty of your own humanness? And after we have shown each other how we have set and kept the clear, healthy boundaries that help us live side by side with each other, let us risk remembering that we never stop silently loving those we once loved out loud. Take me to the places on earth that teach you how to dance, and places where you can risk letting the world break your heart, and I will take you to the places where the earth beneath my feet and the stars overhead make my heart whole again and again. Show me how to take care of business without letting business determine who you are. When the children are fed, but still the voices within and around us shout that soul's desire have too high a price, let us remind each other that it is never about money. Show me how you offer to your people and the world the stories and the songs you want our children's children to remember. And I will show you how I struggle not to change the world, but to love it. Sit beside me, long moments of shared solitude, knowing both our absolute aloneness, our undeniable belonging. Dance with me in the silence, in the sound of small daily words, holding neither against me at the edge of the sky. And when the sound of all the declarations of our sincerest intentions has died away on the wind, dance with me in the infinite pause before the next great inhale of the breath that is breathing us all into being, not filling the emptiness from the outside or from within. Don't say yes. Just take my hand, dance with me. So the beautiful offering there. I want to close it with a prayer for you to take with you that the Dalai Lama speaks on a regular basis, His Holiness. It comes from the 700 AD, Shantideva, an Indian Buddhist. Join with me. This is the Bodhisattva prayer for humanity. We can all do this dance. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles, and for the boundless multitudes of living beings, may I bring substance and awakening, enduring like the earth and the sky, until all beings are freed from sorrow and all beings are awakened. We speak that word with His Holiness, knowing that it is already so, and together we share. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, Judy. Dalton.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. Get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never never get one single breath for granted. I know that love will never leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more open. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice, sit it out and dance. Well, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never feel those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Love might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let the change in the seasons leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice, sit it out and dance. Well, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice, just sit it out and dance. Dance, I hope you dance.
Thank you, Dalton. It feels good to have you here. Appreciate you being here today. That's beautiful. So if you hear chirping, Lindy and I were trying to figure out whether it's birds outside or something in our sound system, but I don't know if people hear it, but it's definitely there. So we'll pretend like it's birds. So it's so we'll figure that out. So I apologize if that was not soothing. So I did forget to have everybody wave to the camera. So while the ushers come forward, if you want to turn around and wave. Hello, everybody. It's fun inside here, so come on in, online people. Doug and I started setting out more chairs, so knowing people are going to come. So just join with me in hearing these words. As I prepare to give my offering, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I am filled with gratitude, knowing life stays in balance, for as I give, I do receive. And we can start the offertory.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, Dalton. So on behalf of the center, I give thanks for these gifts. I know they come from the heart and the soul of each one here. And for all those who give, whether through selfless service, through seva, or for monetary gifts, we know that every ounce of energy and expression you give to this center is so deeply gratefully received. And so as we take these gifts and we put it back into the center and on out into the community, we know that it comes back to each and every individual. So I give thanks. I release this prayer, and together we say, and so it is. So we have a final song from Dalton, and then we'll come up and wave you goodbye. But remember, Dr. Mary has a book signing out in the foyer. And we also have signed up for the parking lot sale. And the social hall is now open, so if you want to visit and socialize and have a snack, just feel free to do that. Dalton.
All right, everybody. It's a beautiful day outside. Why don't you stand on up if you're able? Stretch yourselves out. Establish a little space around yourself. This is a kind of... I think you can kind of sway back and forth this one. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy. That's how it goes. Goes all good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy. All love now, all love, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is love, holy, holy. Oh God now, oh God, holy, holy. Oh God, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is God, holy, holy. That's why all is one now. All one, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is one, holy, holy. All good, one more time. All good, let me hear you sing it now. All good, holy, holy. I said all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy.
Awesome. Okay, you guys, one more chance. You were swaying. Got it? Go. Sway, sway, sway. Ready? Sway. Add one of these. Sway, sway. Add one of those.
And then we do one of these.
And then. Have fun today, everybody.